Hi, welcome to another Power Blast podcast. As time passes and years go by, many people give up on getting healthy and fit, and getting in shape seems more and more challenging as time keeps ticking. And I'm not sure if that's where you're at or not, but I was there many years ago and I gave up many times. Here's the thing. You have more control than you think. So let's talk today about taking charge of your mind, your body, and your emotions. Stay tuned. Hey there, my friend. Perry Tinsley here, creator of the Power Blast podcast, The Power of Possibility, Passion, and Purpose. And I want to thank you for tuning in. And in this episode, I'm going to help you with a few things that I've learned over the years when it comes to empowering your mind and your body, and especially your emotions. And before I do, I just want to thank you for tuning in, whether this is the first time you've been on the Power Blast podcast and tuning in, or you've been a regular listener. Thank you so much for being here. If you're new to the podcast, please get over into your podcast app and leave an honest rating and review. That helps others discover this show. And if you're tuning in on YouTube, watching the video version, please be an awesome friend and smash the subscribe button and the notifications bell. That way you don't miss out on any show that's coming up. And it would be crazy awesome if you just click the thumbs up and dropped in a comment of your biggest takeaway from today's show. I do respond to those, and it helps with the YouTube algorithm. So you absolutely rock, my friend. Most of us, we know what to do when it comes to getting healthy and fit, but getting ourselves to actually follow through and stick with it, stick with any plan, it's the reason why a lot of the diets, the fitness plans, the next best thing ends up failing. And let's be honest, it's not about losing the weight or getting in shape as much as it's giving yourself the freedom to do the things and the benefits of getting in shape and getting healthy and putting yourself in control. You're the one in charge, not your old habits and not those limiting beliefs that you've developed from the past. I mean, you've got to change the way you think. And that's one thing I really worked hard for. And I realized that I needed to step back and go, gosh, why do I keep failing over and over and over? So when you change the way you think, you give yourself clarity, you give yourself certainty, and you can develop and continue on what becomes a new normal for you. And for a lot of people, we desire this new normal, but we don't want to work that hard for it because comfortable is, well, it's comfortable, right? But along the way, you find when you start to get slimmer, you start to get fitter, and you start to get more energy, and you start to get confidence, and you start to feel these benefits, you eventually don't want to let those go and go back to old ways. But here's a few things I'm going to share with you today that I learned from Tony Robbins, of all people. He's just helped so many people have breakthroughs and create positive, lasting change to their life. So I wanted to share some of these things with you. First thing, it's to raise your standards. And that hit me like a ton of bricks because I wasn't really raising my standards. I mean, let's face it. If you want to improve the quality of your life, you need to upgrade from something that you desire and that you would kind of like to have. Like, yeah, I really want that. I want to get in shape. It's kind of like the New Year's resolution thing. You turn that into that this is a must sort of thinking. This is going to change now. I'm drawing a line in the sand and I'm doing this no matter what. You've got to flip it to that thinking. For years, I used to just settle for things and just kind of accept them as, this is just the way life's going to be. Really? I mean, I'm thinking this is just the way I am. This is the way my family has always been. And this the pattern I'm following. But if you want to make a change, you're going to have to change that mindset and say, you know what, this is unacceptable. I can't have that thinking. If you want that dream body or that dream health, then you've got to make it a must. And you've got to decide that you are going to demand more of yourself. And Another thing that Tony talks about is changing your limiting beliefs. I mean, think about that. A lot of us, we just live in our heads all day. We create stories. We are a big drama soap opera when it comes to our thinking. And doubt is the enemy of creating that lasting change. A lot of us have doubt. Even confident people, we let the little doubt factor sneak in there. And let's face it, if you're like me, you've tried many fitness or eating plans in the past and you failed. And you're like, oh my gosh, I failed over and over. And you start to create this learned helplessness and you begin to believe there isn't anything you can do. So what's the use? Why even try? Why put forth all that effort if I'm only going to fail again? And then down the line, you may decide, there's another plan or another thing, you kind of get hyped up about it, but then you become cautious and you only give half the effort to it, only to prove to yourself that this is one more thing that won't work for me. I had a friend, Carol, actually join me. She reached out to me for some coaching, and she said, Perry, I'm just doing this, just to let you know, I'm doing this because I want to prove to myself this is one more thing that won't work. And I'm like, wow, okay, let's give it a try. And then she ended up losing 50 pounds and getting in the best shape of her life. And she was feeling amazing. But I thought, man, I'm up for that challenge. So what if you flipped the script? What if you focus on the reasons that you can succeed? Instead of beating yourself up with all the negative self-talk, and you decide to start believing, that you can succeed. And you start recognizing that there are others that have paved the way. That you've probably seen infomercials and stuff, and you're like, oh my gosh, that's not me. But these are people that were stuck in the same mindset for years and years and years, just like you, and they proved to you that something can be done. You've just kind of been approaching it and didn't flip the script in your head yet. But when you do, man, if they can do it, so can you. You have all the resources to make it happen, and probably a big reason for doing so. So there's nothing holding you back. It's all about working the inner game, the mindset stuff. And so that's what I do inside my Upside Down Fitness community. You're welcome to join us there. You just go over to upsidedownfit.com and click all the details. We've got a nice little Facebook group, but we work on that inner game so much to help us overcome the barriers, but also navigate the obstacles that are coming. So last thing I want to share with you, this is a big game changer for me. It was to change your strategy and following a step-by-step plan to get there. For me, I would wing it because I was kind of like stuck in my this is the way I always do things, or this is the way I learned, or this is the way I've seen other people get results, so this has got to be the only way. And I did it for years, and I tried to focus on things like willpower. This is the year I'm giving up carbs, I'm giving up this, and I go all extreme. And then I end up feeling deprived. And then I would quit. Then I would gain more weight back than what I lost, and I'd get really frustrated. But I'm going to tell you, if you change your strategy, you can set yourself up for success and be open to new possibilities with that stuff. But you've really got to work on that mindset stuff that I told you about. Otherwise, the best plan. I could give you the most ideal plan, customized, perfect for you. And if you don't have the mindset stuff going and you're letting the doubts go on, that plan, while it could be the best plan in the world, will never work, right? So just to recap, decide what you want to achieve. Make it a must, not I should or that would be nice sort of thing. We've done that too much. What does Tony Robbins say? Stop shooting on yourself. Halt the old behaviors that are limiting you, and replace them with new empowering behaviors, and keep repeating those empowering behaviors until they become a habit. As Atomic Habits author James Clear, he says it's more important, especially when you're starting out, it's more important to develop the habits first than it is to get the results. And I know that's a hard sell because we're like an instantaneous, especially with our health and fitness, we want to change things right away, right? But if you focus on developing the habits first, the results are going to come. Once you replace all the stuff that's been limiting you with stuff that's empowering you, you can only go forward, right? So keep challenging yourself. Keep testing your new mindset. Keep testing those new strategies and those new skills. And you will face many situations. Life is going to test you. As soon as you make the decision, life is just going to see how serious you are. It's going to throw you curves. So have yourself a plan before you go to like other environments or other events, holidays, stressful times in your life, parties, other events. Keep practicing what you developed and set yourself up for success. Even creating an empowering environment for you. I did this. I totally revamped my kitchen. I went through my refrigerator, went through my cupboards, and it went over like a month's time, but I got rid of the stuff that were not healthy choices and that would not be temptations for me when my defenses were down or when I was stressed out or when I was bored. Keep in mind, I still treated myself. I was just more conscious and intentional about them instead of leaving things around up to chance where I'd all of a sudden have a binge fest when, it didn't serve me. I could consciously go and have a treat when I wanted instead of I'm stressed out, I got to overeat on this stuff. When you do those things, that's when you know that changes that you've made, they actually work. And then you can use that and apply that to push you through any challenge in life. So this is when you've achieved that freedom that you're wanting to desire, that you're wanting to achieve and that you've desired for a long time. So I hope those tips helped for you. And like I said, if you're on YouTube over there, drop in the comment your favorite tip. Please reach out to me with any questions that you might have about food, fitness, mindset, anything about achieving your ideal health goals. I love helping people remove the obstacles, or at least navigate the obstacles and barriers that get in the way of achieving your health and fitness goals. And if you'd like more motivation, I just talked about this, more motivation, support, tips, and strategies, then join my Upside Down Fitness community. We're a fun group of people striving to make healthier habits in this awesome chapter of life. We give 52 weeks of free coaching in that group. I promise you'll love it. Head over to UpsideDownFit.com. That's all I have for this week. Thanks so much for tuning in. I appreciate you so much. Please share, subscribe, leave an honest rating and review in your podcast app. It helps others discover this show so they can get value. Plus, I think the universe is going to give you some major positive vibes. And for those of you on YouTube watching the video version of this, please be sure to subscribe, smash the notifications button so you get an alert each time a new show drops. You absolutely rock, my friend. That's all I have for this week. And as always, remember, it's never too late. We'll see you next week.